The NBA has been going absolutely crazy ever since Thomas dropped that bombshell statement.
No one revealed this about Jordan, but I will.
Listen up, we all know there's one person MJ can never forgive, and that is Isiah Thomas.
There's no way you can convince me he wasn't the asshole.
We all know Thomas and Jordan hate each other. It's way past basketball, but tonight we're dropping the bombshell details. Get ready to be shocked. This goes back to Isiah Thomas's jealousy of MJ. That jealousy set off a chain reaction. It sparked one of the biggest feuds in NBA history. Remember that iconic walk-off in the Eastern Conference Finals? We've got the scoop. And wait until you hear the leaked audio. The audio that got Isiah kicked off the legendary Dream Team. Your mind will be blown. The Jordan-Thomas beef? It was brewing long before the public saw it. Picture this, it's the mid-'80s. Isiah Thomas is a top dog in Detroit. The league is his playground. He battled, he bled, he earned the city's respect. Detroit was his kingdom. But here's the twist. Michael Jordan shows up. He's a North Carolina rookie. He has talent, style, and hype. No one had seen anything like it. Jealousy hit Thomas hard. Thomas built his name on toughness. He wasn't the shoe deal guy. He was the floor general, the grinder, the piston who made Detroit feared. Everyone knew the Pistons brought the fight, but that toughness, it was only local. It belonged to the city. That grit didn't go global. It didn't sell sneakers. It didn't get him on the big magazine covers. That's the hole Michael Jordan filled. He went on an insane run with the Chicago Bulls. Suddenly, the NBA didn't just want good players. They wanted sellable faces. They wanted personalities that pop. Jordan had all of it. Thomas's throne was gone. The world spotlight blasted Jordan. That had to hurt. This was more than losing a game. It was losing the spotlight and losing relevance. Thomas wanted to be the next big superstar after Bird, but then MJ showed the world the future. He showed everyone what a global NBA superstar looked like. Thomas had respect from toughness. Now respect came wrapped in global stardom. The league demanded a brand. And who has the greatest brand ever? You know who. But Thomas made things worse. Jordan's first All-Star game was a huge stage. Rumors say Isiah swayed bigger players. They planned a freeze-out. They purposefully iced the rookie. They kept the ball from MJ. Thomas denies everything. He calls the story crazy. He said he was too small to lead a conspiracy against legends. But an NBA writer, Peter Vesey, had the proof. He started the rumor because Isiah's own agent admitted it. His agent told Vesey that Isiah and others were freezing out Jordan. He can deny it, but his own agent spilled the beans. For Jordan, it wasn't a rookie prank. It got personal. But here's the question. Why attack the rookie? Why not the league's big decision? Okay, you were the big guy. Sure, you were tough, but the league was changing. Commissioner David Stern was making the NBA a massive product. Jordan became the marketing face of this new league. He wasn't just playing, he was selling it. Sneakers, commercials, highlight reels, the full package. He made the NBA so huge. When he retired in 1993, David Stern had this to say.
Thanks, Dan. David, obviously you said it was a happy day for you today, but tell me why you thought
it was a happy day for me. I said it was a great day for Michael because he's done extraordinary things for our game.
Picture this. You think the crown is yours. You believe you're the king. Then the world looks at a rookie and says, nope, he's the king now. And that new guy, he brought something you couldn't match. Pure, raw star power. Here's the kicker. Isiah was born in Chicago, but he played for Detroit. So when Jordan landed in Chicago, he took over. He started dominating fast. He snatched the fans' hearts. He got all the attention. This wasn't just Detroit losing its shine. This was MJ walking in and stealing Thomas's own city.
He still want to be Mike. Mike do not want to be your friend, Isiah. I'm telling you for the fifth time. He do not want to be your friend. You know, stay on ESPN, keep talking on TNT. Oh, Mike's just, now you trying to say everybody better than Mike. It's okay. You not better than Mike.
Deep down, under that Pistons' toughness, under all that bravado, there was a cold, hard fear. The fear of being totally irrelevant. The fear of being replaced. The fear of being forgotten forever. And at the heart of it all, jealousy. That slow-burning, bitter envy that just doesn't quit. That jealousy didn't stay quiet. It exploded onto the court. It literally defined an era. When Thomas's fear of being overshadowed collided with the Pistons' reputation for brutal intimidation, it sparked something ruthless. The Pistons didn't just try to guard Jordan, they became obsessed with him. They studied him. They wrote a whole playbook dedicated to just breaking him down. The moment Michael Jordan dropped a massive 59 points on Detroit in April of 1988, something absolutely snapped inside that locker room. It wasn't just, we need to defend him better. It became, we have to break him. That's when the infamous Jordan rules were born. This wasn't a normal defense change. This was a full-blown war plan.
You guys had what they called the Jordan rules.
We came up with that saying with Jordan because this is what Chuck was saying. If Michael goes to the basket, put his ass on the ground. And I put his ass, because once he got there, you got to hit him. You got to hit him. I mean, every time he went to the basket, we hit him.
From that moment on, when Jordan held the ball, he wasn't playing a game, he was the target. He was facing a literal hit squad. Detroit's blueprint was absolutely brutal. It was incredibly precise. Piston John Sally later explained the plan. It was simple. It boiled down to only 3 words: push him left.
You guys had something called the Jordan rule. Talk to us about that.
Push him left. That's your Jordan rule right there. That's all I'm allowed to give away.
It's still top secret.
Every single time Jordan touched the ball, top of the key, on the wing, near the post, the plan was always the same. Trap him, double him, steer him right into traffic, push him to his weak side. They clogged the paint, they messed up his rhythm. If he tried to drive, big men like Bill Laimbeer and Dennis Rodman were waiting. They met him hard. We're talking about the most dangerous fouls imaginable. They saw him as more than an opponent. He was a threat to their entire career. The Bad Boys' mantra was simple: no easy touches, no flow, zero comfort. Isiah Thomas led a squad that didn't just want to beat Jordan, they wanted to bruise him mentally and physically. But guess what they didn't see coming? While the Pistons were busy designing a playbook soaked in spite, Jordan kept showing up. Bruised body, battered ego, but he kept rising. Game after game, he fought through the hits, the double teams, the brutal fouls, and he responded the only way he could. He refused to be beaten. He trained harder, he got stronger, he sharpened his skills, he slowly started to rewrite the rules. By 1991, the Chicago Bulls were a perfect machine. They didn't just win, they swept the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. They cleared the path, they crushed the Lakers 4-1 for their first ever championship. And speaking of that sweep, remember the final seconds of the series? Chicago was up 115-94 with just 7.9 seconds left. Thomas had a choice: show respect to the team that just ended Detroit's reign? Nope, he led the infamous walk-off.
A great run has come to a close. With 4:38 remaining in this fourth quarter, now Isiah runs out to center court.
No handshakes, no acknowledgement, just pure, raw bitterness. It was the ultimate display of Thomas's ego for the entire world to see.
You know, it's time enough to think about it. Or the reaction of the public that's kind of changed his perspective of it. You can show me anything you want.
Listen, some Pistons like Joe Dumars and John Sally actually stayed. They quietly shook hands, but Thomas's flat-out refusal stole the spotlight. It screamed one thing: this was personal. In Thomas's mind, the bitterness was real. Jordan had reportedly called Detroit undeserving champions before the game. But let's be straight, after those brutal Jordan rules, he absolutely had the right to say it. The fallout from that walk-off was brutal. The media went off. Bulls players like Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen called it childish. Jordan himself just brushed it off. But Thomas, he carried that grudge for decades. He kept complaining. He kept trying to rewrite history. But for Michael Jordan, it was fuel. If you're a real Jordan fan, you know every single slight, every foul from Detroit only sharpened him. It made him tougher. It pushed him to that throne he was destined for. And that throne, that's what Thomas couldn't stand. Think about it. He turned his whole team into a war machine against one guy, and that one guy still came out on top as the greatest ever. To make things worse, Isiah Thomas has never hidden how much MJ got under his skin. Years after his Pistons dynasty crumbled, he was still talking about Jordan, like a kid who got crushed on the playground. There's a clip you have to see. Yeah, this one.
Everybody kissed his feet, but I refused to. That's why he hated me.
And just like that, he admitted it. He confessed to the one thing behind all the drama: his jealousy. But here's what he missed. Nobody was kissing MJ's feet. They respected Jordan because he flat out destroyed everyone on the court. Fast forward to May 2020, he went on Fox Sports on the Speak for Yourself show, and he had the nerve to casually claim that Michael Jordan never actually beat Larry Bird or Magic Johnson.
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird, yes.
He was literally trying to rewrite history. He put himself right in the center, and he put Jordan somewhere way off to the side. Then, check this out. He did the interview with Shannon Sharpe. He went even further. He claimed he dominated Jordan. He said MJ wasn't even competition.
Just head to head, I was dominant over him. When our teams met, when you go back and you look at until 91, when I basically had career-ending wrist surgery, my record against him and his team, it really was a competition there.
It's absolutely jaw-dropping because the numbers, the rings, the finals appearances, the dominance, everything we've seen totally contradicts him. That's the real story of Isiah. Decades later, he's still trying to steal a piece of someone else's legacy. He acts like he was the main obstacle, like he was Jordan's equal. But everyone who watched those games saw the truth. Jordan wasn't just better, he redefined what greatness meant. Even Scottie Pippen called him out. Pippen did not hold back. He called Isiah bitter and ungrateful, a guy who still refuses to give Jordan the respect he earned on every court he ever stepped on.
I find that comment there just hating. I've never seen this guy embrace or thank Michael Jordan for what he's done for the game.
Honestly, it makes you shake your head. Here's a guy who ruled the East. He had his moment. Now, decades later, he's still running around. He's trying to convince everyone that the GOAT wasn't actually that great. So yeah, that whole "I refuse to kiss his feet" line, it's almost funny if it wasn't so obvious. It sums up his mindset perfectly. Stubborn, bitter, and totally unable to face reality. But you know one thing about the NBA and life in general? Karma is real, and Isiah Thomas definitely dealt with his share. Now this is where the story gets messy. Just 1 year after the finals walk-off in 1992, the NBA created the biggest super squad in basketball history. We're talking about the 1992 U.S. Olympic men's basketball team, the legendary Dream Team. This team was stacked with all-stars and legends, the absolute best of the best. And yet, one name was clearly missing: Isiah Thomas. He had 2 rings. He was coached by Chuck Daly, the same guy who coached the Dream Team. On paper, he had the credentials: 2 NBA titles and multiple All-Star appearances. But when that roster dropped in September 91 and was finalized in May 92, his name never got called. Officially, they said they needed guys who would fit, guys with zero drama. Guards like Stockton looked cleaner, less baggage, less risk. But that clean resume excuse, it always felt like a cover-up, because we all know the real reason he got snubbed. The guy had a reputation, and that reputation got him uninvited to the biggest party ever. Why? Because he had fought with everyone who could have put him on the team. Magic, Jordan, Pippen, the whole crew. This wasn't about skill anymore, it was about history, grudges, and pride. In fact, Pippen admitted it boldly.
Well, I can't speak for Michael, but no, I did not want to change.
Even though Pippen talked, an audio clip later surfaced. It was from 2011. MJ allegedly told committee member Rod Thorne, "I won't play if Isiah Thomas is on the team. They called me to play. Rod Thorne called me, and I told Rod I won't play with Isiah Thomas." Imagine that, the greatest player of that era basically saying, "You can't sit with us." But let's look at the numbers. The team officially justified picking other guys. By 1992, Thomas was averaging 19.2 points, 9.3 assists, and 3.6 rebounds for his career. John Stockton, by comparison, was at 14.5 points and 10.5 assists. Clyde Drexler was putting up 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Even Jason Kidd and Chris Mullin brought steady production with less drama. So yeah, there was a basketball excuse, but it's weak when you look at Thomas's resume. He checked every box on paper, except for being wanted. Let's be honest, the man had burned every bridge. That was NBA karma doing its job. And it crushed him. He's still talking about it decades later. In 2020, he called it the biggest hole in his resume. He's still shocked, still bitter, still trying to justify his spot. But the reality is, his own actions built the wall that kept him out. So you have to wonder, what if Thomas made the team? Would the dream team have lost? Probably not. Jordan, Magic, Bird, and Malone, that was too much power. But it would have added a layer of grit, a fighter, a guy not afraid to shake things up, physically and mentally. Maybe the chemistry gets messy, maybe not, but that's the point. It wasn't about his court skills anymore. It was about how he made everyone else feel. That's why he stayed home. Fast forward to 2020. MJ's legacy was untouchable. The rings, the stats, the records, all immortalized. Then comes The Last Dance, MJ's 10-part documentary. It let the world peek behind the curtain of Jordan's dynasty. For most of us, it was a celebration. But for Isiah Thomas, it was like pouring salt on a decades-old wound. Suddenly, everything he tried to rewrite in his mind, the "I was as good as MJ" stories, the Dream Team grudge, the walk-off, all of it was right there on screen for the whole world. And Jordan, cool as ever, narrated it with a smile. The documentary showed him dominating, clutching, laughing, commanding respect effortlessly. Meanwhile, Isiah, who spent years publicly claiming he was the guy MJ couldn't beat, got dragged back into the spotlight exactly as the world remembers him, jealous, defensive, and obsessed with Jordan's success. And what happened next? Just as we expected. A couple of weeks later, he started popping up everywhere. Interviews, podcasts, media spots, cameras and mics were running. ESPN, NBA TV, Vlad TV, Club Shay Shay, Jalen and Jacoby, you name it. He was out there trying his best to convince everyone that MJ's legendary career somehow doesn't measure up to his own greatness. The irony? Every time he opened his mouth, he just highlighted the fact that he could never truly compete with MJ.
The documentary didn't even need to defend Jordan. MJ's legacy did the talking. Every time Isiah tried to insert himself into the narrative, the evidence was right there. MJ 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, a global influence Isiah could only dream of matching. For MJ, the past is the past. He built, won, and moved on. For Isiah, he turned every chance to show respect into bitterness, and The Last Dance just put that spotlight on it for everyone to see in high definition. So you want to know why Isiah Thomas could never stop hating Michael Jordan? You have to look at the bigger picture. It wasn't just the walk-offs, the Jordan rules, or the Dream Team snub. It was deeper. Michael Jordan became everything Isiah wanted to be, the face of the league, a global icon, a cultural phenomenon, universally loved. Jordan didn't just dominate games, he dominated hearts, minds, sneakers, ads, magazines, everything. Isiah built his empire on toughness and grit in Detroit, but MJ, he built a universe around himself. Now let's talk stats. If you're arguing skill or accomplishments, stats don't lie. Jordan averaged 30.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game for his career. Isiah averaged 19.2 and 3.6 rebounds. MJ was a force of nature. And not just the regular season, in the playoffs, Jordan averaged 33.4 points per game. In the finals, he went 6-0, taking home all 6 finals MVPs. Thomas had 2 championships in '89 and '90, but head-to-head with Jordan, that's where it got messy. In the 1991 Eastern Conference Finals, Detroit got swept 4-0. Jordan dropped nearly 30 points a game, clutch shot after clutch shot. Thomas fought dirty, but he couldn't stop the machine. That is the difference. And it's not just numbers. Look at the style, the persona. Jordan didn't just win games. He sold basketball, sneakers, commercials, Air Jordans, highlight reels. The man was everywhere. He became the sport. Thomas stayed a Detroit legend, a local champion, loved locally, but the world outside Detroit didn't care. And that was real. The crown he thought he owned was suddenly out of reach. It wasn't just stats or rings, it was about clutch. Jordan thrived when everything was on the line. Every playoff buzzer beater, every fadeaway jumper, every finals performance screamed, "I'm the best." Thomas could play, but he couldn't match that sustained, era-defining dominance. Jordan was a machine. Thomas, even at his peak, was just another good player. This brings us to why this is so personal. Every dunk, every championship, every cultural milestone Jordan achieved was a constant reminder to Thomas that he got passed over. Not because he wasn't good, but because the world loved Jordan more. And you can't blame us for picking MJ. Let's compare the resumes side by side. MJ, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 14-time All-Star, 10 scoring titles, 10 All-NBA first teams, 10 All-Defensive teams, 2 Olympic golds. He led the Dream Team. He's a global icon. Thomas, 1 Finals MVP, 12-time All-Star, 2 All-NBA First Teams, 3 All-Defensive Teams, 1 Olympic gold, not with the Dream Team. Their resumes are not even close. So that's why Isiah could never just admit it. MJ wasn't just better on the court, he owned everything else. The spotlight, the brand, the global fame. Isiah had grit and rings, but MJ had legacy, superstardom, and the world at his feet. Every stat, every final, and every highlight screams it. That's why the bitterness is still there. But here is the real question. How do you compete with a man who was destined to be the greatest?